Two visiting engines from the other railway had arrived on Sodor. They surveyed the shed. "It's time," 87546 said at the Black Diesel, "that we took this railway over with our mainland friends." "Shh, Diesel 11. It's their railway after all." "Not for long," insisted Diesel 11. "Our controller says this Sodor engine spoil our image." "Of course we do," said Jenny. "We show what frauds you are. Call yourself an engine. If anything happens, you care nothing for your train. You just moan for a fitter. We bring it home, if only on one cylinder. Nothing ever happens to us on the mainland. We are reliable." Vulgar noises greeted this. "How rude," said Diesel 11. "You asked for it," said 87546. "Now shut up." Next day, James was rolling home tender first. "I'm a failed engine," he moaned. "I lost my regulator. Driver says it jammed wide open. He can't mend it till I'm cool. However, I got steam, and driver can use my reverser, but it would happen after the accident a few years ago with those tar wagons. Now they'll laugh at me again." He reached the signal box and stopped, whistling for a rogue. On the signal box, on the up line, stood Diesel 11, with a train of oil tankers and boxcars. "Worse and worse," said James. "Now Diesel 11's gonna laugh at me too." The signalman came out. "For pity's sake, take Red Eyes away from here. He's failed. The Limited is behind, and all he can do is well for his fitter." "Red Eyes," said Diesel 11. "I'm stow it," snapped the signalman, "or I'll take my tin opener to you. Now then." Diesel 11 subsided at this dreadful threat, and James pulled the train out of the way. The Diesel didn't have much salt. The Limited rushed by with a growl and James gave a chuckle. "Look, Griffin, look, old Red Eyes, isn't it? There's your pal." The Diesel said nothing. He hoped 87546 hadn't noticed. 87546 had not noticed. He had troubles of his own. He was cross with his trucks. They seemed to be getting heavier. He roared at them, but it did no good. Engines have a pump called an injector, which draws air out of the train's brake pipes to keep the brakes soft. If it fails, air leaks in, and the brakes come on, gently at first, then harder and harder. 87546 injector had failed. The brakes were already leaking on while he passed James. He struggled on for half a mile before being brought to a stand, groaning furiously, unable to move a wheel. Well, did you hear what the signalman said?" "I thought they'd be laughing at me," said James. "Now the joke's on them." "Moving two dead engines in their trains," said his driver thoughtfully. "That's no joke for a failed engine. You think he can do it?" "Of course I can, and I'll have a good try at it. Anyway, 87546 is better than old Red Eyes here. He did try to shut him up last night." "Come on then," said his driver. "We mustn't keep this goods behind." "Get moving, you!" James puffed with the sulking Diesel into motion and started to the rescue. James gently buffeted up to the brake van. While the two drivers talked, his fireman joined his front brake pipe to the trucks. "It's better than we thought, James," said his driver. "The engine can pull if we keep the brakes off."
"So the only weight we'll have is Spancan's goods," said Henry. "That's a mercy. He was by now feeling rather puffed. Poop, 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 poop. Are you ready?
87546.
Beep, 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 beep. Yes, I am. Whistled Henry.
James.
so was 7101 growling in front. Henry gamely puffing in the middle. The long cavalcade set out for the next big station.
Lady, Roger, 089, Jesse, Lenny, and Eric were waiting. They cheered as James pulled in with the train. He braked the trucks to a halt. Diesel 11, the tankers and the vans trailed far behind. The trucks were happy to finally have arrived at the station. Soon, some of their goods was unloaded, Coven was uncoupled, and headed towards the sidings where the tank engines were. Lady, Roger, and 089 took the trucks away to the mainland. Jesse, Eric, and Lenny took the goods to the mainland too. Return Diesel 11 to the other railway. 84 to the Fat Controller. I will write my views later. James and 87546 went away together. I'm sorry about last night, ventured the engine. That's alright. You did shut old Red Eyes up. And, said the engine ruefully, made a fool of myself today too. Nonsense. And a failed injector could happen to anyone. I mean, I lost my regulator. You failed? And yet, his voice trailed in admiration. Well, it was an emergency. Trains must get through, after all. 87546 said no more. He had a lot to think about.